In this video, we're going to talk about how to revitalize your blog posts. So what does it mean to revitalize your blog posts? Well, you can spruce up your blog posts the same way you spruce up your home. You spend a lot of time creating your content, you should definitely make the most of it. And after you freshen it up, you can keep promoting it, and this is going to help you attract new people to your blog and grow your mailing list. So how should you begin? Well, you want to start out by figuring out what your most popular blog posts are, and you can do this by checking out your stats with your Google Analytics, which is a free tool. If you don't have it, you can sign up for that. And so you just make a list of your most popular blog posts and start working on those first. And after that, you can work backwards by publication date. You can go down through a category list or however you want to go about it. So just keep a spreadsheet of all the posts that you want to work on, and then you set aside an hour a week or whatever time you have, and you work on this. So the first thing you're going to look at is if the content is still relevant. So when you're looking at that, take out the stuff that isn't relevant and then add in any new or updated info that would be helpful to the people that are reading that post. For example, a post that was written in 2008 that listed various types of marketing methods might have a paragraph about MySpace. Obviously, no one's really using MySpace anymore, and so that can be taken out, and new info about Pinterest and Instagram and other sites that just weren't even around in 2008 can be added in. You also want to add some new photos and graphics. If your post doesn't have a graphic, and depending on how old your post is, it might not, because there was a time when images weren't that important to the web. So if you don't have one, or the one that you have on that post doesn't look very good, it's time for a new one. And you can use Canva, and there's a free version and a paid version. You can certainly use a free version, and they have some really awesome templates, and it'll help you create some really good looking graphics. You don't have to be a designer, you can still create some awesome graphics with Canva. And if you want to have some free stock photos, you can go to unsplash.com or pixabay.com, and you can find some stock photos that you can use in your graphics. Now you also want to add a content upgrade, and this is a freebie of some sort. It can be a video, a checklist, or resource list, something that you offer at the end of your post in exchange for someone's name and email address. Now there was a time back in the day when people only needed one freebie, but now having more than one freebie will definitely help you grow your list a lot faster. And like I said, you can have a few of them, and then you can promote one of them at the end of each post. So let's say you have a few different categories on your blog. Let's say that you're a professional organizer and you have tips about cleaning up bedrooms, kitchens, bathrooms, and so forth. And those are different categories. And so you can have one freebie with your best organizing tips for bedrooms, one freebie with your best organizing tips for a kitchen pantry, or so forth. And then anytime you write a post about kitchens, you offer the kitchen pantry freebie. Anytime you're writing a post about organizing bedrooms, you offer the bedroom freebie, so forth and so forth. So you want to do some keyword research, and if there are some keywords that you can add to the post, that's going to help you bring in new traffic. So do a little bit of that. And now let's talk about the publish date. So you've worked really hard, you have freshened up your content and your graphic, and you've done some keyword research, and so now you can do one of two things. You can keep the original publish date of the post, or you can update the publish date to the current date. So it can be the date that you're working on it, or even a date in the future if you wanted to have some content come out later that week. Now, if you keep the original publish date, you want to add a note at the top of that post that says updated with new info on, and then put that date so that people who are looking at it, if they're finding it for the first time and they see that it was written, in 2012, they know that you actually updated it in 2009 and there's lots of new info. Now, if you decide that you want to update the published date to the current date, you want to delete any previous comments on that post. Again, if someone's looking at it and it was published, the date on it says published in 2019, and they read through it, and then there's comments on it that are dated from 2013, that looks really weird. So if you're going to give it a new published date, which you totally can, and it adds, fresh content to your blog, then just delete the old comments. If you're going to keep the old published date, just put a little note at the top that says it was updated with new content on whatever date, so people know that it has been updated and it is the freshest content available. So now you want to promote it, and you're going to want to put this just in your promotion calendar and keep promoting it every so often. You can also send out an email and let people know about it. It's just because it was written 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever, it can still be really helpful to the people that are on your list. There's always people joining your list. There's always people finding your site. So just because someone's on your list doesn't mean that they've read that blog post. And even if they did read it when you originally published it, they may not always remember it, or that content may actually be really helpful to them now, where, maybe it wasn't something that they were focused on back when you did publish it. Going back to the example of someone who's a professional organizer. Maybe you have a post about organizing a kid's bedroom, and someone on your list didn't have kids when you originally wrote it, and now they do, and they're trying to organize everything, and you send out an email and let people know about this post. That's coming at a perfect time for them. So those scenarios always happen. There's always going to be people who haven't read your blog posts or who really need that content now. So you do want to keep promoting those blog posts. You worked hard on that content, keep promoting it, and now that you have, these graphics and the content upgrades added, it's just going to help you grow your list, and it's going to help your business immensely.